Zygmunt Bauman on Globalization and Fear. Zygmunt Bauman, a leading sociologist of the modern age, offered deep insights into how globalization has reshaped human life, creating both opportunities and insecurities. He described the world we live in as liquid modernity, meaning that everything, our jobs, relationships, identities, and communities, has become uncertain and constantly changing. In this liquid world, globalization brings people together across borders but also leaves them feeling isolated and anxious. Bauman believed that the same forces that connect humanity are also responsible for spreading fear and instability. He explained that globalization has two sides. On one side, it allows people, ideas, and goods to move across borders quickly. Technology, trade, and communication have made the world feel smaller, giving people access to new opportunities. On the other side, it has created new divisions. The wealthy and powerful, large corporations, investors, and elites can move freely, while ordinary people often remain trapped in economic or political constraints. This inequality in mobility, Bauman argued, fuels fear. Those with freedom feel insecure about losing it, and those without freedom feel powerless to change their conditions. Bauman noted that globalization has transformed the meaning of security. In the past, people felt protected by belonging to stable communities, families, or nations. Today, those structures are weaker. Companies can shift operations anywhere, leaving workers jobless. Global financial markets crash suddenly, affecting millions. Climate change, terrorism, and pandemics create a constant sense of threat that crosses borders. People feel as though they are living in a world where nothing is stable or predictable. This deep uncertainty leads to what Bauman called liquid fear, fear that spreads everywhere, changing shape and never disappearing. In earlier times, dangers were visible and local. People could identify enemies or natural disasters and face them together. But in the globalized world, threats are invisible and universal. Fear now comes from sources people cannot easily identify or control, such as global economic collapse, cybercrime, or climate disasters. Because these dangers are everywhere, they create a sense of helplessness. Bauman said modern fear is globalized because it affects everyone but gives no one a clear enemy to fight. He also believed that fear is not just a natural emotion but a social and political tool. Governments, media, and corporations often use fear to influence public behavior. When people fear terrorism, migration, or insecurity, they are more willing to accept strict surveillance, border control, or loss of privacy. This manipulation of fear helps maintain order and distracts people from deeper issues such as inequality, corruption, and economic exploitation. Bauman warned that societies driven by fear tend to become less compassionate and more divided. Bauman was particularly concerned with how globalization affects human relationships. In the liquid world, everything is temporary: jobs, friendships, and even identities. People are expected to be flexible, always ready to move or change. While this seems like freedom, it also leads to loneliness. Real communities become weaker, replaced by online interactions that often lack emotional depth. People form virtual bonds but still feel disconnected in real life. Bauman observed that this disconnection increases fear because individuals no longer feel supported by stable relationships or communities. He also explored how fear and insecurity are connected to consumerism. In modern societies, people are encouraged to buy products not just for comfort but to feel safe and valued. Advertisements promise security and happiness through consumption, turning shopping into an emotional escape. Yet this cycle never ends, new fears always arise, and people are persuaded to buy more to ease their anxiety. Bauman believed that this consumer culture deepens insecurity because it teaches people to look for emotional stability in material things rather than human connection or social change. Fear also manifests in how societies treat outsiders. As globalization increases migration, some communities respond with xenophobia and racism. Economic instability and unemployment often make people look for scapegoats. Foreigners, minorities, or refugees become easy targets for blame. Politicians and media sometimes exploit this fear to gain power, framing outsiders as threats to jobs or national identity. Bauman explained that this hostility is not caused by the migrants themselves but by the insecurity of people who feel powerless in a rapidly changing world. When life feels uncertain, blaming others gives people a false sense of control. Bauman's analysis of fear extended to how technology spreads and amplifies anxiety. News about disasters, violence, and crises circulates instantly through television and social media, keeping fear constantly alive. While technology connects the world, it also exposes people to endless information about danger. This creates a shared sense of global panic but does not encourage collective solutions. Bauman argued that instead of using technology to spread fear, societies should use it to foster empathy, cooperation, and understanding among people across the world. Despite his critical tone, Bauman did not reject globalization entirely. He recognized that it can unite humanity and open opportunities for progress. However, he believed that globalization must be guided by moral responsibility, not just economic profit. The current system benefits the few while increasing anxiety for the many. To overcome global fear, Bauman suggested that humanity needs to rediscover solidarity, the sense that we all share one world and one destiny. He emphasized compassion, justice, and shared responsibility as the foundation for a more humane form of globalization. Bauman's ideas help explain many problems in today's world. Economic inequality, the refugee crisis, environmental disasters, and political extremism are not separate issues, they are all connected to the global fear he described. People fear losing jobs to automation, fear cultural change, fear environmental collapse, and fear the loss of identity. These anxieties shape global politics, fueling populism, nationalism, and social division. Bauman's work reminds us that the answer to fear is not isolation or hostility but understanding and cooperation. In essence, Bauman's view of globalization and fear shows that the world's progress has come with a hidden emotional cost. People are more connected than ever, yet more afraid of the future. Fear has become part of daily life, shaping decisions, relationships, and politics. Bauman encouraged us to think critically about this paradox and to build societies where connection leads to confidence, not insecurity. His message is clear: if fear divides humanity, empathy and shared responsibility can unite it again. Zygmunt Bauman's reflections remain vital today. In an age of uncertainty, his work reminds us that fear is not inevitable, it is shaped by how we organize our world. By choosing compassion, justice, and cooperation over greed and division, globalization can become a force for peace rather than anxiety. If you found this explanation helpful and want to explore more ideas from great sociological thinkers, please like this video and subscribe to the channel.